Hi and welcome to Ideon Tech Talks with me, your host, Mia Rolf. I'm the CEO of Ideon Science Park in Sweden, south of Sweden, where we support startups, scale-ups and big brands and beyond to create the future within the latest of innovations. And with me today I have a special guest. I have Ideon Frydenberg, that is the CEO of Zaplox, which is one of our exciting scale-ups in the park. Welcome to this chat.
Thank you, Mia. Nice to be here.
Actually, we are at your place.
Yeah, I mean, we're working in the hospitality business in this company, even though we're an electronics or software company, so welcome.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. Thank you. So what is Zaplox actually doing?
Well, that's an interesting question because it has evolved over time.
I know.
We were probably one of the companies that have been here the longest. We were founded here in 2010, but we have evolved a lot since. But in short, we really are a company that provides a platform for a mobile guest journey, a contactless mobile guest journey for the hospitality industry.
Right, and you're actually helping them to digitalize the whole industry right now.
Well, I mean, this is an interesting challenge because the hotel industry is one of the oldest and most conservative industries you will find today, and adopting new technology is not something that they've been fast to do in the past. But today we clearly see very much driven by COVID-19.
Of course.
The need for digitalization in hospitality is huge, and we can now see that it's happening.
That's great to hear. And you were actually from the hotel business yourself before you ended up here.
Yeah, I spent almost 30 years in some of the biggest hospitality companies of the world, in Starwood Hotels, in Marriott. I've been in Scandic, and anything from actually running hotels to doing things like the mobile guest journey. So actually I was part of Starwood Hotels when they were probably the first global hotel brand to try to roll out a mobile guest journey back in 2013, 2014. They even went as far as having mobile keys.
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago.
And what do you say would be, what was the biggest challenge with that? We talked about cultural change, actually.
Well, I mean, it's a bit hard when we sit here today in 2021 to try and remember what 2013 was
yes.
like. But one of the things we just started using in 2013 was the iPhone. It was relatively new.
True.
So we need to take a step back and think about where were we with digitalization in those days, and we were not very far. So the biggest challenge that we had at Starwood, even though we rolled it out in 2 of the brands globally, was that the guests themselves were not ready to use this. They were not really interested in using it. And the other challenge was that the hotels also did not really adopt this.
No.
Because if you think about the hotel industry, it's a service industry. It's you know, the whole focus is to provide great hospitality, great service to
meeting
their
the
guests.
person.
It's personal.
Yes.
And if you say it's personal, in the hospitality business you would typically think, well, if you put technology into this, then it's no longer personal.
No.
But when you look today...
Exactly, now it's all changed, right?
Well, today even people in hospitality will say, well, you know, our thinking was wrong, because today you can actually give even more personalized service in the hand of the guest, in their mobile phone.
And they expect you to. They expect you to serve them digitally too,
yeah,
right?
I mean, this has been a very slow process, and I think even before COVID it was a slow process. And I think one of the big reasons were the guests had started to adopt, because we do this when we order taxis, we do it when we book our plane or book our seats on the plane, we do our banking on our mobile.
Yeah.
But in the hotels we still stand in line to get our key.
Yes,
now,
interesting.
The hotels have not really wanted to do this again because of history and of the technology that is very, very challenging in the hotels. And they needed to change the technology, and then the ROI, the return on investment for making the guest journey mobile did not work.
Okay.
Now that has completely changed today, because with COVID-19, most hotels have laid off almost all their staff. And that was part of the ROI calculation before. Today it's not. Now the question is, how do I use technology in order to keep the costs down when business comes back?
Yes. And if we take, you said it's very complicated, the technology behind the hospitality industry. So if we go down to that, what are the actual components that you use to make this so special with your digital or mobile?
Yeah, I think you need to understand the puzzle pieces around a hotel as number one. I mean, the core processes of a hotel is really the getting the reservation, checking in, issuing keys, paying, checking out. That is all in a system called the Property Management System, PMS system. So that's the commercial business system of the hotel.
And that's what everybody uses, no matter how big or small chain
it is today's version of the big book that you used to see in the old movies.
Okay, so that's been digitalized.
That has been digitalized,
So
and it is
good.
really exactly that. It's a big book. So everything you do when you charge things to your room, etc., it goes in there. Now that is
also every peanut you buy.
All the things that you say you didn't took in the minibar, it still goes in there.
Okay. Yes.
But in addition to that, there are other systems that are connected to it, integrated to it, because this doesn't do everything. You have telephone system that needs to be integrated, so you pay for the telephone bill. In the old days, now everybody has a mobile. But we talked about a minibar. You have this also for the door lock system. You know, the door lock system is a separate
system.
Separate system, separate technology, but it needs to be
integrated.
Absolutely. Yeah. Payment systems as well.
And that's a third system that you need to put into the transaction.
In most places, of course, you're not allowed to check out unless you've paid your bill. So you need a payment system.
Right.
And these typically needs to talk together. And what we offer in our contactless mobile guest journey is we offer a mobile check-in, we offer mobile keys, we offer payment and mobile checkout. In order for that to work, our solution is sort of the glue that holds the other systems together. And
it's all like visible for the guest through an app, right?
In order to be able to open the door locks from all the big hospitality door lock providers, and there's 4 big ones that cover 75 to 80% of the hospitality door market. For all of those, they will only allow you to open it through a native app. So you need to have a phone with an app on. And then basically what our offering is, we offer 3 things, 3 products. One is naturally the app, because that is an important solution, and we do that to individual hotels, to hotel chains, and to our partners. And that is an app that is white label, so it's in the look and feel and name of the hotel.
Yes.
So that's one solution. The other solution is that we build our solutions into our partners' software.
Right.
So, for example, a property management system, a PMS, may actually want to offer what we offer, but they use our technology built into their system in order to do this.
Right.
And the reason this is happening is because where we are the glue, it is a very complicated technology in order to carry the information about this key. This you can call it a key, you can call it a token, you can call it a certificate, whatever it is. And
that's the security thing.
That's the invisible thing that you don't really see, but that you carry on your phone. And then as long as you're within Bluetooth range of the door, you can open your door only, not somebody else's door.
So there's actually a lot of different systems meeting in one, connecting it to Bluetooth, and combining it in an app. When you have an app, you can actually add more service into the app, right?
Yeah, I mean the app. You hear a lot about app fatigue actually around the world because everybody has so many apps.
That's why
on
you
their
go
phones.
to a special hotel just to rest from the app fatigue.
But then you might have the wrong apps.
Okay.
Because if you have, an app can be really, really helpful. And this is now 10 years after the iPhone started being used.
Yes.
We all start to realize that.
Yeah.
That when you have an app that can open your door, it can also do other things. You can, as I said, you can check in with it, you can check out with it, you can pay with it. You can order room service in it. You can
Now we're talking.
Yeah, you can communicate to the hotel and say, I want a real feather pillow, not this fake feather pillow.
Without having to talk to someone, because that's
you can do
embarrassing.
You can do it all through the app. You can make a reservation in the restaurant.
Could you also, in the future, I don't know if you offer this now, but could you also turn the heat up, or I mean, you could connect several other control things to your app, right?
So we had just talked about the three core systems in a hotel. You just added a fourth one, and that is the one that sort of controls the mechanics of the building itself.
Right.
The building management system, BMS system as we call it. And there are specialty providers that do that. First they use the tablet.
Yes.
Now a lot of it has migrated over on phones through apps. So very few do that yet, but you can absolutely do that and build that into your white label app that we at Zaplox provide you.
That's actually what you say, moving out or empowering the guest. What you do is kind of digitalizing the hospitality industry, but also empowering the guests to control their own journey more.
Well,
you talked about when you hated standing in line to get your key when you're tired in the evening, you're arriving late.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it goes back to the principles of hospitality, is giving good service. And what better service can you give than giving the guest the choice how they want to do things, not telling them what to do? Because yes, I mean, I'm a very frequent traveler.
Yeah.
I tend to arrive late and leave very early. And the last thing I want to do when I get into the reception to check in at night at 10 o'clock is to have 3 people in front of me that want to tell their life story to the receptionist. I just want to go to my room.
Yes.
And now I have a choice. However, maybe if I was new in the town and I wanted to know, where the best restaurants were, where to go shopping, etc., I might actually, even if I had a mobile key or a mobile check-in, I might still go and talk to the receptionist because I'm there for a different reason. It's what we call a different trip persona. If you're on a business versus leisure, two very different things.
And today, actually, you can find all these things in the app or another map app that you use. So
most hotels that take the apps seriously will absolutely include all the sightseeing information, all the shopping information. They'll have maps, they'll have everything in the app. And
then it becomes like a loyalty program app, right? You could actually use it to promote more offers or continue your journey. Or
if you think about the ones that actually went mobile first, it's all the big global hotel brands. And one of the reasons they did that wasn't just to give you the mobility opportunity, it is to address all the other things, like how do they ensure that you book directly with them and not through the OTAs, the online travel agents, because they charge a very high commission. And if you book through, so if you, and many people still do that. If you're going to go to Stockholm next weekend and you want to look for a hotel, so you go on Expedia or Booking and you find a nice hotel. The magic is you find it and then you go to the hotel website to book it. Because if you book it on Booking or on Expedia, then the hotel will know that. You will not have access to all these mobile opportunities because in order to do that you need to book directly with the hotel and use the hotel's app.
Because they earn more money if you do that, and they also
they pay less commission.
And Plus they get the direct contact with the customer, which is also of value.
Well, now you bring up something very important, and that is keeping the customer. Who owns the customer? In this case, from a hotel to a guest, who owns the guest?
Right.
And if you're a hotel, that's your most valuable asset. You want to know the guest.
Yes.
You want to know everything you legally can know about the guest.
Yes.
And what they like and what they don't like, so you can provide personal service.
Better service.
Personal offers
exactly.
on the app.
And now you're actually talking about the data that if you use this in many hotels, Zaplox will have lots of interesting data about how people are using their hotel rooms and what are they actually looking at or looking for in an app like this and using.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we have an
do with that?
enormous amount of transactional data. I mean, even though this is a relatively recent trend, we have over 6.5 million stays that have used
Wow.
our mobile solution. So we have data on these. This is data that cannot be identified to a person.
No.
That's very important
That's
to know.
important. Yes.
But this is all transactional data. So how many times did this mobile key open a door? What time of the day did it open it? You know,
what
how
other
much
features
Yeah,
are
I mean,
being used? Yes.
did you book through there? Did you check out through there? You know, you even measure for all the people that look to make a reservation through an app or even through a website. Look how many of them actually went through with it and how many stopped before they actually made a transaction. So there's lots of data that can be used to improve the service for a hotel.
And understand the use and the complete picture of the target group, the users.
Yeah, and you know, there's two different users of this data.
Yeah.
One is the hotel,
Yes.
to improve the guest service, and for us it is looking at our products and say, how do we further improve our products?
Exactly. So what's next then? I mean, or start with where are you now? Because I heard some gossip that you had a really good last quarter 2020.
Well, it goes a little bit back to where we started, and it's a bit strange to say. I mean, we're a company that works in the hospitality business, and hospitality has had the worst year ever.
Yes, yes. We're all sorry for everybody. Yeah.
But we actually had the best year ever for Zaplox. The second, third, and fourth quarter of 2020 were the best quarters ever for us. You know, our customer base increased by 160% last year.
Wow.
So very much driven by the focus on digitalization in hospitality that is taking place now. So we're very clear on what the future looks like. I mean, based on our results and the trends that we see around us. I mean, the requirements for health and safety for both the employees of hotels and the guests, that's not going to go away after COVID-19, if there is an after COVID-19.
Yes.
And again, from the hotels, the need to be able to keep the cost down through technical digital solutions when business comes back, that's not going to go away either.
No.
So all these trends are all indicating that the demand and the adaptation, the adoption of digital solutions in hospitality, that will just increase.
And we all went digital this year. I mean, even if we didn't want to, we suddenly all are very much more digital than we were 19. And I think that will follow us through to the way we travel in the future and stay, of course.
Well, again, I think one of the things that I notice even with myself these days is, you know, you do even more on your phone because it's in your hand, but you don't really want to touch anything else.
No.
And that is also not going to go away.
No.
This is becoming, I mean, it's been 12 months. This is becoming ingrained in people's heads, so it is automatically how we behave. I mean, people automatically don't shake hands anymore.
No, it's very
I spend a lot of time
strange.
living in Belgium,
Yeah.
where people kiss and hug all the time.
Oh no.
It's very strange. It doesn't happen anymore.
No.
But it's, the first 6 months that was strange, right?
Yes,
You always
yes.
went like, oh.
Yeah, yeah.
But now
But now it's normal, yes.
it's normal.
And we always stay a little bit, 1 meter ahead or 2.
No, and think about it. Especially in Scandinavia, we're very big at shaking hands historically. You think that's going to come back?
No. I've been thinking of that myself, that I didn't want to. Now I don't want to, but I will not perhaps take it back when it's past COVID. And I think that what you're doing is actually following this trend, driving the digitalization of the hospitality industry. And what do you see in the future? What's the next thing that might be on the horizon?
Well, I mean, we still have a long way to go before digitalization is taking really off in hospitality. But and it was one of the last industries to really adopt this, since we've been doing it in banking, traveling, etc. So the question is, what else can you use digitalization for? And for us, we've been very focused on the hospitality industry now in the last 5 years.
Yes.
We didn't start out that way. We were very open to many solutions. We even provided door locks.
Yes,
at
that's
Zaplox
true. Yeah.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Door locks and the software, and we did, in principle, any door of any business. Now that's difficult for a small company, so we decided to really focus, and our focus has been hospitality and
it's now taking
the
off.
software. Yeah. So you can automatically think, where can we use these type of solutions? Yeah, in principle, you can use it on any door, even your private door. Why wouldn't you be able to open your door with an app or something else, your private
Or
door?
your office door.
Office doors, meeting rooms. I mean, I think a good expansion from the hotel side that we have had the great pleasure of being part of and doing is into the hostel. Not a hotel, but a hostel.
Yes.
And that is very complicated, because suddenly, instead of having only you and one
several
other
people
person,
should open the door at different times. Yes.
yeah, and completely different people that have. It's a. Yeah, if you can manage that, and we did, and it's live and up and running in Denmark, in Copenhagen, for a couple of years already. That shows you how much you can do.
And I can give you one idea. You can lock the guest in until they have paid. Just kidding.
That's called prisons. We don't do prisons, but maybe we should.
Maybe you should. Probably not. So, and now you're here at Ideon Science Park. What has that meant for you and for the company development?
Yeah, I mean, the company Zaplox was born here,
yes.
right? And the people that actually founded Zaplox back in 2010 already worked in the science park, so it was sort of a natural thing, because it was a innovation, it was new thinking.
Yeah.
And we never left. We moved around, but we never left, and it's quite natural. This is the type of environment, the creative, leading edge, innovative. Always looking forward, learning by looking backward, but always looking forward.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Not only the leading edge, sometimes the bleeding edge.
Yes.
This is what it's all about. So for us, that's really important to be in that type of an environment. And when you think about our staff, I mean, a core part of what we do is technical development. I mean, we have developers sitting over here working on our solutions. And for them to be in an environment where there is like-minded people, they can network, they can socialize, there's a lot of social activity, if I may call it, on campus here.
Yes.
And I think that's very good. And from a recruitment point of view, of course, it's also very good to be located here, because there's a lot of talent that we could need sitting around.
Yes. That's good to know. So, with that, I think if you want to say something else? No?
No, I think it, you know,
I think that wraps it up. That it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And good luck with the continuous increase of every quarter. We're looking forward to that.
If there ever was a time, Zaplox time, this is it. This is the time. So we are in the right place at the right time with the right solution.
Great. And I think that's time for us. Thank you for being with us, and thank you. And if you have any questions, we'll answer them in the chat below. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.